Monday. Tesvov Kislev Tovshin Ayin Daled. We are in the Mamar Kislev Tovshin Yud Beis, Podoh Besholom Nafshi. In the Sefer Teres Menachem, excuse me, Sefer Mamar Tovshin Yud Aleph Tovshin Yud Beis, on page Kuf Ayin Hey, in the last section of Ois Gimel, chapter 3, paragraph beginning Bizehu.
What is it called?
A bissel, nicht gefällt, just a little
Old age.
Old age, yeah. The Rebbe is discussing over here Podoh Besholom Nafshi, Mikrovli. The correlation between a battle and shalom and peace, and the two pirushim in Podoh Besholom Nafshi. Good morning.
Right.
Right? So the Rebbe said that the way, this is, the pasuk refers to the Avodas HaBerurim, the work, the service of Hashem, that we all perform when the neshama comes down into the guf and into the world, which is the idea of Avodas HaBerurim, to, the tachlis is to refine, to lift the matters of the guf, the nefesh habamis, and our part in the world, and that necessitates engagement. The nefesh hadakis has to engage with the guf and the nefesh habamis to achieve that process, that tachlis of refinement. So the Rebbe said that engagement can be in one of two ways: either in a manner of a war, of a battle, or in a peaceful, in a calm way. The difference between the two is that in the former, the guf, the nefesh habamis, has an opportunity to put forward its position, and then the nefesh hadakis debates with it and wins it over. That's b'derech milchama, and that's in a way of war, of battle. That gives room for the position of the nefesh habamis to be reawakened. Whereas the other way is b'derech menucha, that to begin with, the nefesh habamis and the guf cooperate with the nefesh hadakis. And the Rebbe said the general difference between these two modes of avodas Hashem is the difference between the avodas Hashem that we perform during the week and the avodas Hashem we performed on Shabbos. During the week, it's b'derech milchama, sheishes yomim tavod, we engage, we work, avodas haberurim, right? On Shabbos, it's menucha, it's einik, peace, peaceful. So that's what we're up to. V'zeu mashen Mamar Podoh Besholom Nafshi mikrovli. It's page Kuf Ayin Hey, at the last paragraph of Ois Gimel. This is also the meaning of the pasuk. He has redeemed my soul in peace from the battle that I had. For although avodas Hashem, serving Hashem, has to be in a manner of mikrovli, meaning to say what? In a manner of engaging, hainu, not in a removed manner, that the nefesh hadakis should be, the godly soul should be totally immersed in godly comprehensions. In other words, to be totally disconnected, without any connection at all with the body and the animal soul, but rather the godly soul needs to be in a manner of closeness to them, and to affect them, meaning to say that the godly soul has to engage the animal soul and the guf, the body. Nevertheless, that engagement is not in a manner of a war, of a battle, it's in a peaceful manner. This is the idea of being redeemed in peace. Now the Rebbe elaborates even more on this point of engaging peacefully. Podoh Besholom, chapter 4. V'hinei. Ha'inyan the Podoh Besholom, this concept, this idea of redemption peacefully, Hu al derech shehoya bizman shleimei. This is similar to that which took place in the time of King Solomon. K'may shekosov, as it says in Divrei Hayamim, Shalom v'sheket etin al Yisrael b'yamav. Peace and quiet and tranquility I shall put upon the Jewish people in his day. What does that mean? Beruchni is, in the spiritual sense, physically, it means that it was, the simple sense, it means Podoh Besholom in his time. Beruchni is in the spiritual sense, the way he served Hashem was in a manner that he stayed in his place. And because of the abundance of his wisdom, etc., automatically they gathered and came a love to him, the holy sparks, the divine sparks that needed lifting and refinement were attracted to him and they came to him on their own. Much like sparks are drawn to a flame. For example, the Queen of Sheba, what was the spiritual meaning of the Queen of Sheba coming to Shlomo HaMelech? It means that she brought all the divine sparks, as it were, the Netzutzes Kedusha that were within the domain of the Queen of Sheba. They came to Shlomo HaMelech on her. They came on her own. She brought them along. She came on her own and she brought those Netzutzes with her. Similarly, from all the places, top of page Kufayim Vav, even the most distant ones came to Shlomo HaMelech on their own, to King Solomon on their own. It's doch good, right? So why didn't the Avodas HaBerurim end in the era of Shlomo HaMelech? It followed the Churban Rabbayis, and we're still in Golus, and so on and so forth. Because it was like that, but it wasn't the real deal. The real deal will be when Mashiach comes. The Rebbe explains. However, although during the time of King Solomon, the moon was in a state of shleimus, of wholesomeness, of completeness, just like in the cycle of the month we have when the moon waxes and wanes. Yes, is that becomes fuller and then it recedes. So too in the macrocosm, if you will, of the totality of time, you also have periods where Am Yisrael's condition is more in a way of shleimus, and you have time periods when Am Yisrael is in less of a state of shleimus, much like the moon, just like the monthly cycle of the moon, because Yisrael, Daimim Levana, the Jewish people are compared to the moon. King Solomon's era was in the macrocosm Kai Masira Bashlamusa. That was when we were in a time period of the moon being full, as it were. So although
Shiur's moon.
Sorry? Sierra's moon. So although Shlomo HaMelech's time was a time period for Klal Yisrael when it was Kai Masira Bashlamusa, the moon was in its fullness. Mikol Mokem Ein Zadayin Tachas HaShleimus. Nevertheless, this is not the ultimate state of completeness and wholesomeness. Why? We say that the Netzutzes were attracted, the sparks were attracted to Shlomo HaMelech. It says key. Not all the Netzutzes, not all the divine energy that was scattered about was attracted to Shlomo HaMelech. Which ones were? Those fragments of those sparks of holiness, of divine energy that gathered by themselves in the time of King Solomon and came to him. They were only those sparks of energy that the light, the holy light that's within them was detectable, was felt. So there was something, it was active. Therefore, the Rebbe teaches this is, all you need is to allow them to feel, to discern, to detect where the luminary is to be found. When it is felt by them, when they suddenly feel that in a certain location, in a certain place, there is a luminary, automatically, then they are drawn and they gather to the luminary on their own. Right? So in other words, you're talking about such nitzutzas kedusha that were drawn to the Ma'ir. It's just that what you needed to make them aware. Here's the luminary, and then they would come on their own. But the ultimate intended purpose is, the ultimate state of wholesomeness is that not only the sparks of divine energy that feel that the light of Kedusha is felt within them should be refined, even those divine sparks of divine energy, of Getlachkeit, where the light of Kedusha within them has become darkened, because of a number of concealments and covers. In other words, they're so far embedded and sunk into Klippe that the Eirach Kedusha is not even felt in them. So the intended purpose is that even they should become what? Refined and lifted. For that, it's not sufficient that you have a luminary someplace, because they won't be drawn to it, and you make them aware that the luminary is there, because they won't be drawn to it. The intended purpose is that they too should be what? Be taken out from the depths of the klippus, of the shell. This is the true idea of Podoh Besholom, redeeming peacefully. Meaning to say that in a peaceful manner, we refine all the divine sparks. Not only those divine sparks in which the light of Kedusha is felt, but also those divine sparks of divine energy that have become darkened, within whom the light of Kedusha has become darkened. Who said this, Podoh Besholom? Who accomplishes that? Mashiach. That is why. Who said the pasuk Podoh Besholom Nafshi? David. Why? Because David is also what? Malka Mashiach. David is also King Mashiach. Kivon. So why is it David HaMelech that said it? Because David is Malka Mashiach. Kivon Shamit is in the Podoh Besholom Yilasid David Avke, because the true redemption peacefully will be when? Specifically, in the time to come. As it says in Tzfanya, the Navi Tzfanya says, Oz then, I will transform to all nations a clear tongue, a clear language. They should all call in the name of Hashem, to serve Him in one accord. When is that going to be? When Mashiach comes. It'll be not only as it was during the time of the Queen of Sheba, that she brought the divine energy that was within the confines of her domain to Shleima Melech. But what happened afterwards? Queen Sheba went back to her kingdom. She remained as she was. So it won't be like that when Mashiach comes. The divine energies will not go back to where they were. It's going to be in a manner that all the nations will be transformed permanently to serve Hashem in one accord. And then there will be the ultimate intended shleimus purpose of what? The redemption peacefully. What does it have to do with us? So in the next section, the Rebbe is going to explain that that even now we have what to do in order to bring it to this inyan, to bring it to this shleimus, which is the inyan of Torah, Gemaz Chasodim, Mispal Matzibur, which is what the Gemara in Bracha says is the definition of the pasuk Podoh Besholom Nafshi, and more about that in Mitzvah Shem tomorrow.